I'm Janelle Henkel, Director of Client Experience Operations at Country Financial, and I've been with the company for over 20 years. And throughout that time, much of my career has been focused in customer service and operational excellence. I'm passionate about creating experiences that truly support our clients and empower our service and sales team to deliver with confidence and care.
And I'm Scritchlow. I'm the manager of knowledge management. I've been in the insurance and financial industry for 18 years, and during that time I've focused in sales, agency, and knowledge management. And a little over 5 years ago, I joined Janelle and team on the knowledge management side, really looking to drive adoption for our tool, specifically with our agency users. I'm very excited to be here today with you all this afternoon to really walk through where we are today in our knowledge management journey and then where we're headed as well. Janelle?
All right, before we dive in, I want to share a little bit about Country Financial and who we are. Country Financial was founded 100 years ago. And over the past century, we've grown into a trusted provider of a wide range of services, including personal lines and farm insurance, business, life, and investments. We're proud to serve our clients with a comprehensive set of solutions. We operate using a multi-line exclusive agency sales model with about 4,500 sales reps in the field, as well as direct-to-consumer across 19 states. Our home office is located in Bloomington, Illinois, with additional locations in Minneapolis and Alpharetta, Georgia. Today, we serve about 1.5 million clients and generate about $4.6 billion in revenue. We've also had some recent accomplishments. We're ranked 675th on the Fortune 1000 list. Last year, Forbes ranked us the #1 in life insurance and among the top 10 in auto and home insurance. We have an A+ rating from AM Best, which reflects our financial strength and stability. A lot of our conversation today is going to be around the contact center, so I do want to share a little bit about them as well. We have about 200 contact center representatives that handle about 1 million interactions each year, whether it's phone calls, emails, or chats. About half of our team is located in Bloomington, while the other half is either remote or in our Alpharetta location. I want to start by grounding us in some foundational thinking, specifically our knowledge vision. At Country Financial, we believe our employees and the knowledge they use is one of our most valuable assets. And this belief has guided much of our journey that we're going to walk through today. When we began this journey, we recognized a few critical shifts. First off, our workforce was aging, and we were approaching a retirement cliff. We were also moving away from a centralized contact center model, so no longer could we just rely on somebody standing up and getting answers from the person next to them. We were also still relying on some old school paper manuals, and even when we digitized them, access was limited and knowledge remained scattered across multiple systems and locations. And one of the most consistent pieces of feedback that we heard from our sales reps in the field was, I don't know where to go to get information, and when I do, I can't find what I'm looking for. Our vision is simple but powerful. A future where knowledge is accessible, searchable, and available to everyone across the organization. It's a community-owned tool, one that knows when changes need to be made and adapts quickly. When done well, this vision will help us work more efficiently as an organization. It will reduce our contact center volume, it'll shorten our training time, and essentially giving information in the hands of our employees right when they need them. But success doesn't happen overnight. It takes buy-in, relationship building, leadership alignment, and strong partnerships, especially with our vendor experts at eGain. We've had to tailor our knowledge offering to fit the complexity of investments and insurance. We've defined article standards, we've built the right portals to support our work. We started by planting a knowledge ecosystem, one that grows with us and rooted in collaboration. And we began by empowering our internal contact center teams with a single tool. Then we rolled that out to our sales reps in the field, And ultimately, our vision is to make knowledge client-facing so that we all have clear, concise answers and working from that same playbook. So let's take a few minutes to walk through the journey that we've been on to build and evolve our knowledge ecosystem, starting all the way back to 2012. In 2012, we were focused on that omni-channel communication vision. Specifically, we wanted our contact centers to have more channels to communicate with our clients. So in 2012, we conducted an RFP. We consulted with Gartner, who indicated eGain was a leader in their Magic Quadrant. And this is where our partnership started with eGain. And later that year, we did implement their email and chat solution. By 2014, we realized maintaining our old employee training manuals was no longer sustainable. And while we had moved away from paper, our employees were still clinging on to those old paper manuals, which was making it very difficult to keep content up to date. Our information was also mainly only available to our contact center reps and was not also being provided to our sales reps in the field. So we chose to do another RFP. We consulted with Gartner, and at that point we decided to expand our relationship with eGain to include their knowledge tool, which we have branded internally as Click to Know. We did a lot of research at this time, and we relied heavily on our experts at eGain because we wanted to make sure that we did this successfully and we rolled this out right. We stood up a small but mighty knowledge management team who was responsible for developing content, keeping it accurate, and responding to suggestions from both the contact center and our sales reps in the field. And this was an especially critical time for us because we were in the middle, or beginning really, to overhaul some major systems. We were replacing our billing system, and we were beginning to overhaul our policy administration systems. In 2015, we tackled another challenge. Knowledge was still scattered across multiple locations, specifically knowledge in our other operating areas that our business unit didn't own. So we began partnering with those teams, with our property casualty team and our life team and our investments team, to bring their knowledge into our Click to Know knowledge base. I will tell you that took a lot of education and influencing, especially when those areas have been doing things in a certain way, and trying to look at this as a whole ecosystem for our organization. But our goal was simple: fewer places to search, easier access for our field sales reps. Fast forward to 2021, we started enhancing our content, incorporating media, things like audio and video clips. And I'll give you an example. Service is a key differentiator for us at Country. And one way that we've been using media is to explain complex topics. So to hear the conversation of what it could sound like to have a complex conversation with somebody has been especially helpful to be able to diffuse those situations and potentially even prevent future phone calls. And I'll tell you, for our sales reps in the field, they don't receive training on these types of things. So to have that put at their fingertips has been especially helpful. In 2022, we enhanced our knowledge tool by embracing new capabilities like drop-down and guide article, which has helped us to add context and really make our articles more multidimensional. We also streamlined our workflow for managing content, and we eliminated all customizations. So we're truly out of the box now with eGain, which, when you think about upgrades and enhancements, now we'll be able to take those much faster. Also that year, Allie and team, they'd been really working on driving adoption. And in that year, we hit 1 million article views, which was a huge milestone, one that we had been watching and waiting for a long time. So that was a really big deal for our company. 2024 was a breakthrough year. We implemented instant answers, which greatly improved our search and drove adoption. And this year, we're keeping the momentum going. Later this month, we're implementing the AI authoring and the federated search, which is the SharePoint sync, allowing us to hook up those key SharePoints to have more of that one place to go for answers. So again, when we think about our vision of really just having that one tool, to be able to hook up those SharePoints, it's getting us so much closer to that vision. Our focus for 2025, again, is creating that one place to go for our process and product information. So again, getting us closer to that. The other piece that we've done is exclusive tests with using the AI agent. And Allie's gonna cover that, so I don't wanna steal her thunder, but some really good things to share there. This journey has been full of learning, collaboration, and continuous improvement. On the next slide, I'm gonna talk about adoption, what's worked for us, what's been difficult, and how we're continuing to evolve. Okay, so now that we've walked through the evolution of our ecosystem, I want to spend a moment on adoption, because this is where the real story unfolds for us. This slide shows, over the last several years, our adoption. And one key takeaway is, it takes time. Getting buy-in wasn't easy. We spent years building relationships, educating, and laying the groundwork. And if you're just starting out, my advice is don't get discouraged. Early on, it might feel like your metrics aren't moving, but what you don't see is the foundation forming beneath the surface. Your roots are growing, and if you continue watering them, they will eventually grow and thrive. As you can see here, our adoption has picked up significantly over the last few years. And while things did start really slow, those strong roots have created an environment for fast growth. And in many ways, this is where preparedness met opportunity. So I mentioned the major system transformations that we've had. So over the last 5 years, we've replaced the billing system. We've replaced our policy administration systems. And while we were doing that, we made sure that Click to Know was at the center of support for those new systems, which actually allowed us to reduce our training time because we had that information at their fingertips. That not only drove adoption at that time, but it just overall created a better experience, especially for our sales reps in the field. But I want to break this down for a moment. Adoption in our home office was pretty easy. We had ways to encourage, gamify, incent, and sometimes even require usage from our contact center reps. But adoption with our sales reps in the field has been much more difficult. We can't force it, and we continue to hear, "I can't find what I'm looking for." It's been a real challenge, but it's also been a motivator to continue improving search and structure. Since implementing instant answers last year, the search has improved, people are finding what they need faster, and providing more accurate information to our clients. Now, Allie's gonna cover what we're currently working on and where we're headed, but the trend is clear, adoption is growing, and the impact is real. We're proud of how far that we've come, and even more excited about where we're headed. Allie?
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Janelle just mentioned all of the hard work that's gone in for the last decade, cultivating and processes, the procedures, the standards, everything that laid that foundation for us for where we are today in our knowledge management system. And as we learned earlier about AI is here. I want to joke and say AI's entered the chat, right? I know. Oh, I couldn't help it. With that, though, we know with AI that it needs clean, concise, and accessible information for it to properly bring the value that we all in this room want for it to do. So when eGain came and said to me, "We've got this composable AI agent available online to test," we jumped at it. We absolutely had to try it. And we had to try it not only because we wanted to see what their tool was like, but we also found this as an opportunity for us to really proof and validate the content that Janelle just described, all that hard work that went in for the past decade into our knowledge base? Was it ready to be able to perform if we were to lay the AI right on top of it? Plus, not only did we have that opportunity to do the testing, but at Country, it was the absolute perfect timing for us. See, our IT division is currently driving out our enterprise-wide AI strategy. We also had our business partners in our property casualty area who were doing some internal test pilots with our agency users via chat, and they were really looking to lower their agency call volume surrounding specifically their process, procedure, or how-to questions. Now, we had just spent the last 2 years refining and enriching that content, so trying to get that more easily accessible in their hands. We also had a very strong relationship with our eGain partners, and they have been with us since day one of our many-year journey as we've walked through that, giving us insights and collaboration and asking us where they can best partner with us through the tools and offerings to get us where we're headed on our knowledge management journey. So to say the timing and the stage was set is an understatement. We had to test this. So what did that look like? There we go. All right, so for our test, we decided it was best for us to do a 3-tier pilot design. And what we did was, for the first 2 pilots, we wanted to partner with our business area for our property and casualty folks to test our accuracy and resolution. So what we did was we had underwriters from that business area take the agency questions and put it into the chatbot, the questions that they were fielding and getting. And we saw some pretty great results with that. So we decided to take all those lessons learned and we decided to drop that into our agency users' hands and gave them access to the AI agent. If I were to say that I was expecting any of these results, I would be lying to you. I was blown away. We were blown away. The company was blown away. And more importantly, the users were blown away. So what this did for us is this really allowed us to test resolution, accuracy, content sourcing. Right? Was it the right answer? Did it provide resolution? Was it the right link? And we even took it so far to be able to say, how was the overall user experience? Was it intuitive? Did it answer their questions? And did it meet the mark for making their jobs easier? Those are the 2 metrics I'd like for you to focus on the screen, is user experience and our accuracy. Because see, what the accuracy told us in the knowledge management area was that we had done a really excellent job over the last decade. All of that foundation, all of those conversations, the patience, the buy-in, all came to that pivotal moment. And then experience. Our agency users who were hired for their ability to talk and be charismatic found that a self-resource tool could meet their needs. We were very excited about those metrics. It also confirmed for us with our knowledge that we weren't just AI compatible, we were AI capable. And it confirmed also for us that when strong partnerships come together, both internally with the business areas, as well as our external vendor, eGain, and a solid knowledge management structure and timing, the results can truly be transformational. So where are we going to head now that we've ran this test with eGain's AI agent? So here's a possibility of what we're looking at, of what we might do with it. So of course today, after a decade of us building and refining and getting where we are today in the knowledge management, we're back at crawl. And that's okay that we are, right, Janelle? In this stage, this is, I would say, the most important stage, because this is where we're going to test, where we're going to refine, where we're going to learn. If any of your organizations are like countries, a lot of the time we only get one shot and one shot to do it right. And that's what we're going to do in the crawl phase. We're also going to focus on our change management structure to ensure that we're bringing everyone we need to along for this journey. Then we're going to get where we're walking. And when we think of where we're headed for walking, that's where we start to scale. We have those continuous feedback loops. We look for opportunities where maybe we can have our contact centers use an AI agent to be able to access and plug in with their own knowledge portal that they have as well. Maybe even some policy systems. And then long-term, where are we headed? Well, we're looking to run, and that would be our client-facing. Being able to take some of our top how-to client questions using the AI agent and to be able to put those answers directly in our clients' fingertips. Maybe billing policy inquiry questions would be an area we might also focus on. Now, all of this is a lot for us to focus on, and anybody in this room would probably agree with me that even though you might have a plan in the knowledge management world, it often changes because of new technology that comes out, just like AI. So we will be able to be nimble and also make pivots as we need to along the way. So as we close, I just want to draw your attention to this image on the screen. So above the surface, you see a tree, and the tree is strong and has a lot of strength, has the ability to pivot. But what you don't always see is what's below the ground. And that is a lot like knowledge management. It's all the things that are planted along the journey that Janelle mentioned along the way. Things like leadership alignment. Do you have buy-in from the top down? Are the people in the conversation that need to be in the conversation? Key relationships, internal, external relationships. Is everyone talking? Workflows. I love workflows. Are they set up? Do you have the right people that are cued in with those? Technology. Not just technology, the right technology. Partnerships. I think a lot of the time our business areas and our IT folks and what that takes to be able to get where we are, stay where we are, and get where we're going. Documented processes. We have so many of those, and I am so thankful that we do, because that's why we're standing here today. We could keep going on and on about all of the things that are under the surface. And remember, these aren't just components of a knowledge management system. These are commitments. And as you look ahead on your own journeys, whether you're at the very beginning or maybe you've been in it for a decade like us, or maybe even longer, keep in mind that growth comes from what is nurtured season after season. We thank you so much for having us today.